What is going on, guys? Johnny on the track back here with another video. And today, what I'm going to be doing is reacting to what I think is the first time I'm seeing these. The NASCAR Cup Series 2023 championship odds. I don't know if these were, I saw these on Twitter basically today, and I hadn't seen them before this, prior to today. So maybe they were out there, but I hadn't seen them. They weren't on my book. They look pretty new on my book. So yeah, this is the first time I'm seeing them. I wanted to do a reaction video to seeing them, share what I think, share my thoughts, share where I think there's value early on for guys to look at. And so I'm going to do that. Let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it. Pretty excited. I feel like this is my first real betting video of the 2023 season, even though we're still in 2022. But this is exciting for me because it makes me feel like we're almost back. And even though it is still December, February is coming fast. So we are almost back. I'm excited. I locked in tickets to the Daytona 500. I'll be attending my first Daytona 500. That'll probably be a dream come true for sure. So more updates to come on that. But like I said, let's get into these Cup Series odds. So what I'll do is I'll just kind of go through the list here of everybody's odds, and then I'm going to go through kind of my thoughts on certain drivers and where I see value. So the favorite for the championship in 2023, Chase Elliott plus 550, Kyle Larson right behind him at plus 600, Denny Hamlin goes third plus 800, Blaney plus 1,000, Byron plus 1,200, Chastain tied there plus 1,200, Truex at plus 1,200, Kyle Busch at plus 1,200, Logano at plus 1,200, and Christopher Bell rounding out that group of plus 1,200 value bets. Reddick plus 1,500, Harvick plus 1,800, and then there's a big gap. It goes to Bowman at plus 3,000. You've got Briscoe and Bubba both at plus 4,000. Already got some thoughts brewing there. Preece plus 5,000. And just for reference, everybody, this is DraftKings Sportsbook. Now, you can find these odds. They're a little different on different sports books, but this is DraftKings. This is most of the time what I look at for the best odds. DraftKings, I think, pretty much nails spot on their odds. So, but plus 5,000 for Preece, very interesting. Plus 5,000 for Suarez, plus 5,000 for Cindric. Then the former champ plus 6,000, way down there for Brad Keselowski. That's crazy. And then you've got plus 10,000, a group here: Ty Gibbs, Noah Gragson, Eric Jones, Chris Buescher, AJ Allmendinger, back full-time in the Cup Series. I feel like good value there, but we'll get into that. And then you've got a plus 25,000 group of Justin Haley, Eric Almirola, Austin Dillon. Wow, Austin Dillon's way down there too. And then from here on out, I mean, these are guys that really have no shot at winning, but plus 50,000 for Stenhouse, McDowell, and Harrison Burton, and then plus 100,000, for Todd Gilliland, Ty Dillon, Cody Ware, Corey LaJoie, and BJ McLeod, who I don't even think his odds should be like plus $1 million, because I don't even think he's running full time in that car. I feel like who is it? What's it? Bilicki? Is it Bilicki? I think it's Bilicki who's running. He's going to run a majority of races in that 78 car in the Cup Series. So, I mean, I don't know, but for the nitpicking details there, I think BJ McLeod should be plus $1 million. But all right, so those are the odds of the drivers. let's start Chase Elliott. I do believe he deserves to be the favorite plus 550. I don't really think that's a good number to get him at. I would have liked him closer to plus 700. But to me, the odds makers have this right. He should be the favorite. I think he had probably the best season last year in 2022, but was not the champion. That was Joey Logano, who, speaking of Joey Logano, I think has great value at plus 1,200, almost double, no, more than double the odds of Chase Elliott. Now I know Logano, he's probably not your first thought for a guy that could go back to back in championships, but I think Logano is going to do what he did last year, is just be steady, be solid, win, 3-4 races, be there when it counts at the end. So I like plus 1,200 already for Joey Logano. Another guy who took a big step last year, I think is going to take another big step this year, is Christopher Bell. I expect more wins this year for Christopher Bell. He was the best Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota. It'll be interesting to see how he fits, or how Ty Gibbs fits in the mix, and how, that team as a whole functions. Who's the lead dog? Is it Bell? Is it still Denny Hamlin? Best season last year at JGR, it was Bell, but I still think the face of that franchise, if you will, is Denny Hamlin. But I like that value plus 1,200 for Christopher Bell. Truex at plus 1,200, I don't like that at all. I think he'll have a bounce back year. But I just think it's a bounce back year for wins for Martin Truex Jr. I don't think it's a bounce back year for consistency, which he had. He just didn't get the wins. But I don't know. I don't see it for Truex. So, yeah, I don't really like that value there. Byron plus 1,200 to be tied with guys like Logano, Christopher Bell, Ross Chastain. I don't like that at all. I would fade that William Byron plus 1,200. He has not shown that he can make that big step and be a championship contender. He has not shown that yet. So I don't like where he ranks, tied for a second. Tied fourth in odds? No, tied fifth in odds at plus 1,200. Sorry about that. Some guy, let's talk value here. Value, I think, right off the bat, Chase Briscoe plus 4,000. This guy was right on the cusp of making it to the championship four, finished fifth overall in the standings. To me, I mean, at 40-1 for Chase Briscoe, I expect a big leap. I think he's going to get more wins next season. I think that's a guy that you take that bet early, because I think those odds will only decrease as the season goes along. I like Reddick. I think Reddick at plus 1,500 is pretty good value. Might be a little bit of some growing pains early on, but I do think Reddick is going to click by the middle of the season, get a few wins next year, and hopefully make a deeper playoff run than he did this year. And I think the switch will help him, I think, for the future and for really just the short term, meaning next year. I do feel like Tyler Reddick, with a team that is ascending, with an owner like Denny Hamlin that truly believes in him, I think this is a great match, a great pairing, and I think Tyler Reddick plus 1,500 is really good value early on. Kyle Busch, I'm very high on Kyle Busch next year to have a bounce back season, but I don't like the value of plus 1,200. I think he should be in that Harvick, in that Reddick range of plus 15 to plus 1,800. He really hasn't shown these past couple years that he can win multiple races. I think this change is going to be the best thing that's ever happened for Kyle Busch's career, especially where, he's getting up there in age. I think this is a great time to switch. I think he now has a team, like I said, with Tyler Reddick. I think Richard Childress, although they've had their differences, I think Richard Childress really believes in Kyle Busch. And I think he really believes that Kyle can flourish in this car. And I know a lot of people are saying, well, the number 8 car, what is that car? Well, Tyler Reddick won 3 races in it last year. So let's not count out Kyle Busch yet, people. So don't love the number, but I like the bet overall, meaning Kyle Busch to win the championship. I think that would be a great story. And I think it's one of those storyline bets, right? If you will. And those happen every now and then. And I think, if that number gets larger. Maybe he gets at some point closer to plus 2,000. Maybe he has a little bit of a slump to start the season. I would take that. I think those will only go up, meaning not for, the bettor's favor. What else we have here? Ryan Preece plus 5,000. Really, really interesting. I saw some people pointing that out. I think it is interesting to point out Briscoe, Bubba Wallace plus 4,000. And right behind them is Preece at plus 5,000, tied with guys like Suarez, who won a race, made the playoffs. Cindric, who won a race, made the playoffs. He has better odds than Brad Keselowski, a former champion, and a 30-plus time winner in the Cup Series. Very, very, very interesting there to see Ryan Preece at plus 5,000. That makes me think that I don't know. I mean, I feel like the bettors or Vegas is very high on Ryan Preece, which is really interesting. I'm really surprised. I can't put my finger on that. Usually, I'll say a lot of times, a lot of these odds makers kind of mess up a lot of these things. It almost feels like they don't watch right much NASCAR, but a bet like that is surprising. It makes you think, like, do they know something? I don't know, but it's still a big number, plus 5,000, probably something that is not going to happen, but it is interesting that Preece, again, is tied with guys like Suarez and Cindric. Cindric, your Daytona 500 winner, and Suarez had a breakout year last year, made the playoffs. Higher than Eric Jones too. I mean, plus 10,000, higher than Chris Buescher, plus 10,000, higher than Allmendinger, plus 10,000. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think we'll have to see how Preece's season unfolds. Again, maybe they know something that we don't know. But I don't know. AJ Allmendinger, wanted to make sure I touch on this, plus 10,000, immediate, really, really good value there. Now, do I think AJ Allmendinger is going to win the championship? No, but I feel like the strides that Cowlick made last year with the motivation that I think he's going to be as motivated as ever to go back full time in the Cup Series after a long hiatus and prove a lot of people wrong, show the strength, show the growth that he's made as a driver, as a person. And I think he is going to be a tough out next year. I think he makes the playoffs. I think he makes a pretty good run. I don't know if it's, the round of 8, but I do think he makes the playoffs. And I think overall he's going to have a really, really good, solid season. So I love that bet, plus 10,000. I would take that now. I think it's only going to shrink. I assume that he's going to have a really good Daytona 500. And, whether it's a top 10, top 5, I truly believe that he's a very, very good super speedway racer. He's had good results in the Daytona 500. So I think he's going to start, on a high to start the season. I don't know. As I look through here, just to point out some stuff, Austin Dillon plus 25,000. I think that's a little unfair. He made the playoffs last year. He's won some big races in his career, made the round of 12 too, which I think people forget about. So, all those guys in front of him, it's interesting to me, but again, I feel like they're just saying that we don't think Austin Dillon can win the championship, which I agree with, but I'm more to the point of how is Austin Dillon tied with Justin Haley in odds? How is he behind Chris Buescher, who's never made the playoffs in his career, Eric Jones, who's never made the playoffs in his career? It's stuff like that. So one other name I'll point out is Ty Gibbs, plus 10,000. Really interesting here. I don't know what to expect with Ty Gibbs in his rookie season. I could see him winning a race, maybe 2 races in his rookie season, which is crazy to think, but he had really, really good experience at the end of last year, filling in for Kurt Busch. So he knows what it's like to drive that car. He had some good results, and now he's going to his grandfather's team, and he is the next prodigy in Toyota for Joe Gibbs. And I don't know what to expect. I feel like, maybe he has what we would refer to as kind of rookie growing pains, where it takes a while, things aren't clicking, but he shows flashes, or he just has a really, really good solid season, which I think is very, very possible. So I'm not saying take that bet, but I would say just overall keep your eyes out for Ty Gibbs. I think he might shock some people this year with the results that he might put forward. So overall, I think the guys I look at off the bat, Joey Logano plus 1,200, I like it. Christopher Bell plus 1,200, I like it. Tyler Reddick plus 1,500, I like it. Allmendinger, what is that? A plus 10,000, I like that one. Briscoe at plus 4,000, that is a steal. I love, love, love that one. And yeah, that's about it. So, this was fun. I really enjoyed looking through the odds. I think, like I said, the more we can do stuff like this, it just means that we're getting closer and closer to the season that is 2023. So always want to know what you guys think. Put your thoughts in the comments. If you're surprised by any of those odds, if you're looking at guys that you think you can get value at, please let me know. I always want to hear that. Love the interactions we've had in the comments. And again, it's been a little bit since we've had interactions like that. So this just kind of echoes my point. The more we talk back and forth about odds, about drivers, that just means that we're getting closer to the Daytona 500 in the 2023 season. But like I said, want to hear what you guys think in the comments. Please like, subscribe for more content. And stay tuned for Daytona 500 updates.